first married, you have these anticipated goals. We're going to do this, we're going to go here, we're going to accomplish that.
Yeah.
Well, after you've had a long bout at attempting to do those things, there's a period that you begin to reassess. Have I accomplished that? And then you also make decisions whether I'm willing to work that hard again to continue further.
What do you mean? Like, are you talking about things like we're going to get married, we're going to buy a house, we're going to have children, and we're going to plans like that?
You have plans, and you also have plans about how you want your marriage to unfold.
Yeah.
But we know that life gets in the way.
Right.
Sure does.
So it never unfolds exactly the way we anticipated. So now that it has not, what do we do with what we have?
Okay.
And so what you'll find is many years into the marriage, a lot of people will decide, I don't want to work that hard anymore. I don't know that I want that. It doesn't matter now like it mattered when we first got married. But they don't discuss it. That's the problem.
Are we in a culture now, we've talked about this before, the idea, and maybe it's because of all the online stuff, there's a bigger, better deal for me just around the corner.
That's called the greener grass syndrome.
Okay.
Listen, water your own grass.
Thank you.
If you put some fertilizer on it, you can have green grass too.
Yeah.
And the neighbor's grass is really never, in truth, greener than yours.
Going to be that good.
Yeah, it's
now,
not.
Okay, let's kind of maybe go back to the beginning too.
Yeah.
Let's say you're not married yet. Let's say you're looking for that perfect partner or that perfect person. How do you know when you've found the one?
That's the question of the universe. How will I know?
Yeah.
And so how do you know is based on 80% of the equation is going to be compatibility. People think, well, I can be Susie Straight-Laced and I can date Dick Dangerous. Bad combination because they think that opposites attract. It's a myth. It's a misnomer that's landed a couple of people in divorce court. What you need is you need someone that's like-minded. That means that they're like you. So you think the same way, you have the same morals and values, so you have a lot of similarities. Listen, life is tough. Compatibility is the vital ingredient for a healthy and long-lasting relationship. And there are basically 7 signs, and they center around compatibility components. And the first one is just generally being like-minded. And that, you know, there's a misnomer that opposites attract. That's truly only when it refers to temperaments. I'm high-strung, he's laid back. That balances and brings a better level to the relationship. So you have like-mindedness and a balance in terms of temperament. You want me to go on?
Well, I want to stop you on the temperament. So are you saying the age-old thing of opposites attract? With that, with the balance?
It's people mistake that, and so they use it as a license to go marry the wrong person. You don't want to marry a knucklehead. We're talking about opposites don't attract when it turns.
Wait, say that again.
You don't want to marry a knucklehead.
Oh,
no.
Thank you. Okay.
You want to get the right one, because if you get the right one, we can have a long-term, long-lasting, and very happy relationship. So that's our aim. And so you want to find someone that's like you. So compatibility centers around similarities, the way that you think, your direction, your morals and values. Those things have to be in common. But when it comes to temperaments, we want to have a balance, and that's where you have a green light to have an opposite, and that will attract, and that will bring a balance to the temperament. Think about it. If you're high-strung and he's high-strung, my God, you'll burn each other out.
Yeah, that's true.
Many of us select mates based on what we want versus what we need. You may love a pretty face and a curvy body, but you may also want some household skills like cooking. You might want to have children. You might need to adjust your wants to ensure that your love interest meets your needs. This thing called marriage in some ways can be boiled down into a science. And I'm not just talking about sexual chemistry. You have to stick to the facts centered around compatibility and avoid making decisions based on temporal feelings or sensations, because Mr. or Mrs. Right can learn to be great in bed too if you work with them. Sally Hotbottom or Rick the man is not worth the sheer pain and agony that will ensue if you follow that hot piece down the aisle. Now don't get me wrong, sex is really important. It's up there with getting along with each other and sharing the same morals and values, but it's not more important than those things. As time goes on, when the children come along, your job ramps up, and your lives get busier and busier, your sexual encounters will become less frequent. So I want for you to make a quick assessment. Is sex the first thing that comes to your mind when you think about your mate or your special someone? Number 2, are there no other top qualities that draw you to them? And here's the most important question. If you remove sex from the equation altogether, do you find enough wonderful things about them to keep you glued to them?